on to the, get the patch there, it's like, oh, OD's imbalanced, and yeah, it looks like we're going to jump into the draft here now. But to touch on that a little bit, I want to say, oh, man, whatever, we'll do it later. Dang it. I wanted to get in that subject, but we can't now. But
OD not picked or banned,
First banned Bat Rider by OG.
Okay. They have first pick, so they're kind of expecting a 1-2 punch from Alliance that's going to, again, involve... Bat Rider's good because they've shown it's not just an S4 mid, it can be an offlaner. That flexibility makes this pick even more important for them. The Chen, do they risk going against the Chen?
Yeah, I cannot believe I am almost surprised that Fly's thinking about this.
Yeah.
No, just ban Beast, and then
you
go
go
for Chen yourself. You go Chen yourself, or you can go maybe Bounty Hunter still. I don't know.
Oh, Bounty, crit Bounty is...
Crit Bounty is pretty scary.
It's interesting.
I just would be... your game plan game 1 and game 2 is very much like, let's not give them Chen. That was exactly LGD's game plan when they... As far as the opening draft goes, and... Yeah, I kind of feel like OG probably intending to first pick. I just don't feel like OG have impressed me ever that much with Chen. It's not that it's been a bad pick for them. It's just never been like, oh, they want to first pick this hero more often.
No, they're not a bad Chen team, but I mean they're just their players that play Chen have a lot better heroes in their pool. Yes. Alliance right now thinking about whether to ban the Bounty Hunter and take the Chen themselves, understanding that they will give up Chen in exchange for Enchantress and maybe Doom.
Yeah. I don't think they're scared of OG's Chen as well. That's the thing. It's like if you're Alliance, I don't see any reason why you ban Chen here. Even if OG first pick it, you're thinking, okay, great, they went this direction, which they didn't want to go. So to me, coming into Game 3, OG have just come up with a game plan that they think can deal with Alliance's Chen. Yeah,
and I think that's, again, I think that both teams had a strategy coming in, and this is going according to plan for both. I am curious to whether Alliance just instantly respond with the Chen, even in the face of the Wisp.
I mean, you can punish the hero.
You're Alliance.
Yeah.
I think you do. I think
I'm trying to figure out what else they would really go besides that. I mean,
well, the Enchantress,
sure.
For OG, it's very much let's see both junglers in the pool and see what they're going to take.
Oh, they're going to do both. American Dota right now. Chen jungle, Enchantress off lane.
Thrown in Enigma, but Chen and then Bulldogs, as far as his heroes go, Lone Druid, they may go back for a Lone Druid first stage just because when you have the Chen, it really enables the Lone Druid pick to be that much stronger.
What about Juggernaut here early? Because you know it's going to get banned out second phase.
That's a little bit too all-in-y for me.
Well, I think Alliance might just
I think the
in.
Jug pick gets better when you need the other heroes to work around the Jug.
Yeah, there's Venge or another support. They normally go Venge or Witch Doctor sometimes too for their second pick when they pick up the Chen. It's very good.
I don't even mind the Doom here for Alliance. It's not necessarily a hero that they run a lot, but I have seen EGM play it.
It doesn't work with it. You can't run it on EGM when you have Chen. That's that's too weak.
That's too greedy.
It's even greedier than what we saw Game 1 when they had the Spirit Breaker. Like Doom is even worse.
So you do need a harder 5 here. Then I mean,
you could go Venge. You can go Witch Doctor. It's pretty Crystal Maiden. More of an Ake here.
Yeah, they're going to go back for Lone Druid here.
This is classic Alliance. This is what won them the last time.
And I think Chen is just. Chen allows them to dictate tempo and dictate early lane pacing so much better that you're much more protected before the Lone Druid comes online.
So OG Io's picked up. That means
Enchantress.
You can still
Enchantress does again. It would have to be an offlaner. To me, the hero doesn't really shine as much in the offlane. It doesn't have to be, but with this team, it's crit plays both the Io and the Enchantress. So at least nine times out of 10, that's what you're after. So it's not really OG putting their plays in a hero role to kind of succeed if they're doing that approach.
Just give me Tiny. I want to see Tiny again.
Oof.
It's not that bad. If you can get a fast Blink Dagger, you could get on top of the bear, and then you can kill the creeps very effectively.
I think they need to go back with what worked in Game 1, which is draft around the timing before Bear gets Radiance. Have heroes that will come online around 10 to 15 minutes, be able to just dive towers, be aggressive, fight a lot. Gyrocopter comes to mind always. Not to say he's a first 2 pick candidate, but that's something which those kind of heroes that are just going to be very aggressive and put pressure onto Alliance.
That are going to be banned second phase.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you get second phase, Alliance is like, let's ban Gyro now. Let's ban Ember Spirit. Let's ban some of those mid-game heroes.
So OG are really thinking about
this.
And
there's the Moon heroes for the offlane. Beastmaster banned out, as is the Bat Rider. The Slider was great in Game 1, which is, again, great against Lone Druid because of the minus armor, because of your ability to keep it, lock it down, keep it under control.
Still, from a fan's perspective, you got to root for that no-tail Tiny be on the other side of that combo. I mean, he's played in his career a lot more on the Wisp side of that combo with Era from the old Fnatic on Tiny. But no, they are going to go back to the Ember Spirit that worked so well for them in Game 1.
They spent a lot of time thinking that one over. That was a really tough. This is the most crucial stage of the draft right now. Well, not so much most crucial, but the hardest decisions to make, because it's like what is our priority before we get to that second ban stage when they will ban Ember and ban Gyro and take out those mid-game tempo controls.
Yeah, and I think the open from Alliance where they're getting two of just their absolute iconic heroes almost forces you to commit to something there.
And you know they're going to get an iconic hero for S4 and Loader. You can't ban them all. Yeah, you can ban out the Juggernaut because of how well it goes with the Bear. You can ban out the Puck because it's that staple
I was
S4
say
mid.
both of those heroes. I think you have to ban out both of those.
There's always alternatives.
There's alternatives,
you'll
but
get
those
the
are the
Quap.
two
You'll
strongest.
get the Quap for mid, then you'll get something else for Loader that's a bit like a tempo controlling.
Quap can be shut down by the Ember Spirit. We saw it, and with the Searing Chains, it's a lot better to deal with it.
Quap and Puck both vulnerable to that, right?
Yeah, more so the Quap then, because at least you can phase shift dodge it at some points and then have that reliable. But hey, AGM, how's it going? Oh yeah, I'll talk to you too. That's a good idea. I like it. We'll pick it.
Are you talking to yourself?
No, I'm talking to EGM. You don't see his lips moving? Are you blind?
Wow. Paravalence.
It's a good thing I'm sitting in between you two. You just calm down a bit, guys. Got some Dota ahead of ourselves.
We're getting the jackets off after this, off cameras.
So next couple bans coming out.
It looks like
Slaughter ban from Alliance.
Yeah.
I like that. It's good tempo. I mean,
Oh,
again,
and
we
the
saw
Jug
what it did in
ban
Game
from
1.
OG. You have to do that.
Jug's a no-brainer really at this point. Which
Oh, that's cool. The DP instead.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's like that 15, 20-minute stage of the game. You just kind of push down towers, and what can you do if you're OG at that point? And as you mentioned, as you guys both mentioned a bit, the Puck, the Quap, you do have some answers with the Ember Spirit Searing Chains.
All right. What do you want to ban Alliance, and then what do you want to pick is probably the bigger thing.
Well, the unbelievable thing to me is that the Enchantress is still on the table. How many times has Enchantress made it to Phase 2?
I guess it's not going to get banned now because
we've
both
talked
teams have
about it
picked
though
up
because we saw Enchantress being underwhelming both games. Okay, so if you ban Witch Duck,
I think it's less that. I think it's more for Alliance. You prioritize Chen over Enchantress. For OG. OG
just
actually
doesn't work in the
prioritized I over
support duos.
Enchantress.
Yeah, that's right.
This is just the anomaly because both teams have a hero they prioritize over Enchantress, even though they both would probably pick it. If you ban Chen, Alliance would pick Enchantress. If you banned Io, OG may have picked Enchantress. So it's just kind of the exception in this game.
Yeah, so what's your premium 5 position here? You default to the Venge?
I think Lion now. I think you default to Lion just because of the Ember Spirit.
Oh, that's actually a good point. I like it. I think it's...
I don't think you should go for the all-out push just with the Vengeful Spirit because that's going to be harder to siege the high ground.
And you can go for heroes that push with a Lion and anyway.
Rasta, I guess, is too... I think it's either Rasta or Lion for Alliance right now.
And they've done the Rasta before, so given that, we may see some more.
I think you could go, that was not going to be my guess.
Is that an S4 mid? Legion versus Ember mid lane.
Yep.
A pretty nice matchup for Legion Commander. You just kind of trade hits a little bit. There's the Io, so he's going to be offering some assistance and help there. And with a Chen gank, it's not the easiest kill on Ember Spirit. Like, Legion doesn't have a good slow or, like, doesn't have slows or stuns until he hits level 6. But now they actually don't have to pick Lion or Shaman because they've got duels, so.
They have relocate, though.
It frees them up a lot with this Legion Commander.
I still think they need to get, one of those two supports still.
The other thing about the Legion Commander, press the attack on Spirit Bear. We've seen that by a few teams. It was actually eHome when they ran the support Legion Commander with the old 11 Lone Druid in the offlane, who really abused that press the attack with the Spirit Bear.
It's kind of funny going back and thinking about it a little bit, why they banned Slardar if they were going to pick Legion, though. It's like you press the attack, you take off that armor, and then, he's just hitting the building.
It's just what it brings to the table as a tempo controller.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just like, even with the ability to take off the amp damage, it's that...
No, you leaving crits Earth Spirit.
I think Fly's playing Earth Spirit.
Yeah, Fly's Earth Spirit.
He played Earth Spirit. He played it once earlier in the tournament. He actually played it really well.
Come on, get on your A game.
No, both of them play Earth Spirit at a very high level.
They do. I think that's why we saw
we haven't seen much from Fly as Wisp.
Wow.
Okay.
The most puzzling thing about the LC pick to me is not that they picked LC for the reasons that you guys were articulating, but it's that they picked it third. That hero is going to be there, right?
It's always going to be there.
Yeah, but what they like to often do is leave that 5th pick wide open for Loda because his hero
Fair
pool,
enough.
it goes all. It's very easy to. It's much easier to react with your safe lane carry position and wait. And you often want
If
to
they
wait
don't
and
have
see
the
what your
jug, they
opponents go
just
for.
leave him the last pick.
Yeah.
Man,
And
and
you
this
don't know.
was a
You also
throwback.
don't know what offlane you're going against. Now that you know you're versing a Tide, it makes it a lot easier to know like something like a gyrocopter is going to be better because you're not worried about the anchor smash and the damage negation when you've got the rocket barrage. So because you don't know the enemy offlaner, saving Lotus pick does come in handy.
Yep.
With that said, there is a small chance Legion can go safe lane. I just don't really see that being a very strong lane with Oracle.
I don't know if I've ever seen
This is-
S4 or
this has gotta
Loda
be
play
something
it.
they've been
That's why
scrimming
it's
with.
going to be very fun.
Yeah, I think it's a mid. I don't know. What do you think, Ryu? Oracle Legion Commander dual lane in the safe lane?
I think like 70
ugh.
Yeah, I
30.
don't really like that.
That sounds.
I think like 70%
Dubious.
mid, but
I would say 70% min, but they have, tons of options they can go for.
I do like the Tide pick, though. This is a hero that briefly came back to prominence at Shanghai. Secret, in particular, were running Tidehunter with Enigma to
There
a
was
lot
really
of success.
nothing left for Miracle, or not Miracle, Moon.
And,
in the
and Moon
offlane.
Moon has played this hero in the past, so a little bit of a history there. I really do like the Chaos Knight ban out of Alliance. An obvious Wisp combo, and you're probably at this point in the meta more scared of that hero than a Tiny.
Yeah. So OG very little wave clear at this point to deal with the push. Although I mean the push is coming mostly from the bear and the Chen creeps anyway. So at that point you're.
But do you default back to the no-tail Tiny mid?
I mean, OG would really love to have first pick here for the gyro we talk about so much. It's like,
Yeah.
if somebody doesn't ban it now, somebody will take
I
it.
think it's really good for OG. I think it's fine for Alliance, but it's not like a. I think for Alliance there's a lot more just open picks for them.
Yeah, life
Really, Gyro was going to be my pick for Alliance. I guess you could have
I
gone
was
back to
about to say
Lifestealer,
life. I actually thought they were going to go Lifestealer again for a second.
Lifesteal is a really good counter to Ember Spirit going into the later game when you get the Abyssal Blade, able to lock him down. You'll have the duel as well we talked about. It's just going to come down to the relocate saves. And I like the Tidehunter 4th pick there. That's just because it was after the Oracle, so they can't really have the Rubik pick as we talk about. That can help out tremendously when they're going for the team fights. When you get the Ravage off, even though they might get False Promise, then you just come in over the top with a huge Ravage, and then Oracle shouldn't be in range to get off that, or shouldn't be in range maybe to get it before or after the False Promise. And, well, for Alliance here, it's really weird. Like, it's either Gyro or...
Wraith King?
Can you get away with...
Wraith King?
Ooh, that's a
Wait,
Loda
Wraith King?
classic. It's a bold
that's what I
call.
think of me.
That's very... No.
Okay.
All right.
And it
Loda-
is going to be a
Loda's
safe lane
safe.
LC. Crazy.
Wow.
You want Meepo?
Oh,
no
get
fail?
out of here. I
Actually,
really...
this is
a great
this,
Meepo game.
this is a good Meepo. I'm not,
But
Queen of
Meepo's
Pain
just
is
so bad right
in
now.
Legion Commander though.
I mean, Meepo
Meepo-
can just
Meepo
absolutely
poops on
ruin
quad.
Queen of
Yeah,
Pain.
yeah.
Well,
well, it
that's
goes a
after he
little
gets
both ways.
blinked. After he
No,
gets
even
when
before.
he gets,
In the laning
no.
stage, it's really hard for Quap.
well, yeah, in laning stage for the mid, but Chen rotating around, I think. But you have Earth Spirit too.
Bristleback.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
guys.
baby.
Quick predictions here.
I go second on predictions.
Just so he can say the opposite of me.
Yes.
Alliance. I predict him at the start of the series. I'll stick by him, and I'm going to go with Alliance.
Yeah, I kind of want to go with that, but I'm going to go OG because I stuck with them too, and so.
I'm going to go OG, and this is one game to rule them all. One of these teams will go home. One of these teams will be left to sweat come Manila Invites Day. One will move on in the tournament, and we're going to go back to our casters, LD and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Alan. That's right. We're live here at Kiev Cyber Sports Arena, deciding game number 3. OG taking on Alliance. Fog coming into the series. I had OG. You had Alliance. I'm going to stick with OG. Are you standing by your boys from Sweden?
Oh, come on. Man, I wanted to go with OG this time. You know what? I'll stand by my Alliance boys just because they have the Ake-chan, they have the Bulldog, Lone Druid. They have basically comfort heroes. I'm just
Oracle,
wondering about
though,
this Legion Commander and the Oracle. Those are the two big ones for me right now.
Oracle has not had a great win rate at the tournament. Not to say it can't be a strong hero. It just hasn't worked out. But
I want Legion Commander to win.
I
Let's
like
go.
the Legion pick. I actually really like it. We've seen the Lone Druid Legion Commander combo before. I think it was actually eHome running it with Lanham playing as a support Legion Commander. But this time it will be a carry for Loda. And you basically just keep on throwing press the attack on the bear, and it gets absolutely out of control. When they did that, they even had a Quaswex Invoker, so they were also throwing Alacrity on the bear. It was just insanely strong. We won't quite see that level. But what about the Oracle? Why do you think Alliance went to it this game?
I think it was just nice and safe pick, some burst damage added into their lineup. And then I was commenting to you about the guy on Reddit who said, whenever you see somebody pick Ember Spirit, pick Oracle and follow him around, and it's going to like ruin his game. So maybe they're going for something like that, but it also gives you like the save as well, which is going to come in handy at multiple different times. So we'll see what
I like
he decides to
your
use it.
Reddit impression.
I mean,
No matter
I mean
what
that's how I read it. When you look at it and you're reading it, you're just like, this guy definitely doesn't like Ember Spirit, so he picks Oracle all the
He's
time.
role playing a water spirit, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Game 3. Rune's getting ready to spawn. Crowd's hyped up.
What a hype day. Both series going to game 3.
And Alliance going to be controlling the bottom rune here. On the other side, it looks like OG will get the top. So Miracle going to be grabbing his early bounty. S4, his as well.
So it does look like Ake is going to be emphasizing on shutting down the top lane, which it was the Tide Hunter, but now they actually they switched it up. They're putting Tide bottom versus the Lone Druid and having Bristleback top. Probably going to see some rotations come out of the Wisp there. But he doesn't go for the bottle. We've been seeing Crit doing this over and over lately. He buys the stick, he buys the gauntlet, and he gets just some regen on himself.
Hello, Fly. And pretty deep here.
Uh-oh.
And Alliance doing some heavy damage. Has the rolling boulder.
Got to roll out.
But they still force it out nice and early. And he does not really get too much done. Looks like he maybe wanted to try and bully the Chen of Ake a bit. But Ake will find the early Hellbear Smasher and get to work.
Yeah. And again, Ake did port into the middle lane, and he ran top and put the ward behind the tower right away, or on that cliff that you see there.
It's kind of a big deal that he took all that damage, where normally it wouldn't necessarily be, because he does not start with a salve here, and
Rolling
his
in on
HP is
mid
pretty
lane.
low. He rolls in. First one's a miss. S4 looking to turn this and punish. Pokes him with some auto attacks. Meanwhile, top, though, this could be the first blood. No Tail dropping quickly. Looks like they did bring in the Chen creep, and it is a connection. Alliance strike first. They're off to the races.
They even have the passive on Legion Commander, so I guess he just was not really expecting all the damage coming out from the Fortune's End as well as the Ursa Clap.
I mean, obviously having the sustain can be very nice against the slow and steady harassment that Bristleback brings to the table, but our Spirit already back to the well. Chen already scoring a first blood, so Ake getting more done here on the roaming support early.
Yep.
As for our mid lane, though, Miracle 8-3. S4 sitting around 7-2, and he's still got 2 creeps to go for this wave, so could be slightly ahead, but this is a really good start for an Ember Spirit. Is this a matchup where you expect him to do this well?
With the Poor Man's Shield, as well as just getting a little bit of help from the Wisp at the start to block the creep wave, as long as the lane is in a good position for him, he does okay. And they both do have lane wards in the mid lane, as well as he does go for the Slightest Fist skill build, so you can't really even Shadow Strike him at all.
I'll see Miracle for now closing in on level 4, and Ake prowling around in the river trying to decide which lane he wants to gank next.
Yeah, just kind of emphasizing on that. For people who don't really know about it, is you can constantly dodge the Shadow Strike if you Sleight of Fist properly. This time it does connect on Miracle, though.
Yeah, it's a 30-second cooldown, and at level 1, the Shadow Strike 16, so there is that window where you want to Sleight of Fist if you leave it at level 1, but you can just play safer, and at the very least, it reduces the overall damage you're taking. Generally, we'll see the Queen of Pain at least take just the 1 point and threaten you, force you into Sleight of Fist. But here, top lane roll onto Loda, going to be healed up by EGM. They turn it quickly, and he easily walks away. Back to full HP against a tri-lane. Very sustainable dual lane that Alliance are running, and this is allowing the Chen of Ake to be active elsewhere. It doesn't seem like they need his help, even against 3 heroes.
Yeah, but then putting the pressure on Loda just lets the Bristleback be able to get farm. Not just levels, but yeah, the last hits is really important when you look up on the last hit board right now. They have 3 people getting decent amount of farm, even though S4 is doing a really good job in the mid lane right now.
And the one lane we haven't really looked at, it's Bulldog bottom lane up against Moon, who had a rough game number 2 after a pretty good game 1 on the Slardar. But in game 2, in game 1, he had that like 3 to 4 minute window before the 10-minute mark where he was left alone, caught up with the Iron Talon nicely. Hasn't quite had this game, as we see Miracle moving in mid, still has the chains, was trying to get S4 low enough that he would die before the chains expired, but didn't quite bring him into the critical HP threshold. S4 with a blink cooling down, it's going to force Miracle back. But gotta say, Ember Spirit having a pretty good time considering the matchup.
Yeah, definitely. But S4 is, 23-6 to 13-3. He's definitely having a much better time than the Ember Spirit.
Is getting harassed quite a bit, but has the bottle, getting his levels so far. Closing on level 5, and probably continues to receive help for these supports. Top lane, though, as soon as they leave No Tail alone, in they go, getting blocked out by the Hellbear. Alliance find another one.
Yeah, really well
It's
done
Big
there.
Daddy they pick on. The ward did scout that rotation, I think, as they rolled down.
Yeah, Bulldog, a little bit of a micro mishap there. He actually sent his bear to the bottom rune to Savage Roar so that he can secure the rune, but Moon gets it anyway before the Savage Roar goes off.
So now a regen rune picked up for Miracle, S4.
Uh-oh, crit. Could be in trouble
moving
here.
In.
Oh, no mana for the second Purifying Flames there.
Close
Rolling
call,
in,
and
doesn't
Fly.
catch the Chen, but
Rolling,
he does get on the creeps.
Oh, can they finish them off? The Quills come out. Fly, though, is he in too far? Troll Trap played down in 5 seconds, just explodes to the nuke damage from EGM. Massive damage. And they're going to walk away.
Good old Penitence. That 15% bonus damage really applying there. And Fly being a little bit too aggressive with his rolling boulder there.
So this bottom lane going quite well for Moon overall, closing on a level 6. Bulldog also getting his farm. Do you expect anyone to start moving as far as these lanes go for either team? Generally, the Lone Druid's going to sit here, but like would Tidehunter or Ember maybe rotate, or do they also just want to focus on their own levels?
They probably just want to wait until Moon has Ravage. Then they can try to make a play with 2 or 3 man rotation. If the Wisp comes with the Earth Spirit, perhaps they can get the kill on Bulldog. But he does opt for the Phase Boot so that he can harass Moon a bit.
Yeah, this
from
is definitely a
distance.
deviation for Bulldog, but generally he's not getting the 1v1 matchups either.
Yeah, it's just like an adjustment that he definitely realizes from like, in his pub games and stuff. He does this all the time.
They go for Miracle mid lane. He's not level 6. He's real close, though, and he's going in with the Flame Guard. Forces out some very defensive play from Alliance here. And now he is 6.
Let's see if we try see Moon
meanwhile,
go for
bottom.
bait. I
Looking
think Moon
for
wants
Bulldog.
to.
He's got the Ravage ready. Bulldog has not scouted this one out. They're still
Mid lane
pressuring.
Miracle.
Mid lane Miracle. Second round. Will this be the charm? No. He's barely alive. Healing up from the Purifying Flames now.
It's very close.
And bottles. So Fly, it looks like, did not find the opportunity to go on Bulldog, who's now going to pull the lane back. And seems he, too, will dodge the gank.
Oh, Ake's not happy, though. He just got another Wildkin. He's like, damn it. I want to get this. I want to get my gank going right now. I've had my smoke. I want my secondary proper ganking creep.
Used to be Wildkin was like the dream creep for that AFK jungling, you know, just stack the camps up, but now it seems to be much more about the satyrs than anything else.
Yeah, it just seems like aggression pays off much better in this type of patch right now.
Stack Dota, where have you gone? I don't think anyone really misses it too much, though.
Yeah. Looks like No-Tail doesn't want to stay in that top lane anymore. He wants to make his way down to the bottom and secure some farm. They catch the Ravage on Bulldog.
They are committing here on the bear, but a great Savage Roar once again might be enough to secure Bulldog's retreat. 3 hero commitment, 2 of them cores.
The goo.
And while that's happening, there's also a gag towards the top lane. Flanking crit and looking to lock him down. This IO just wants some levels. Tether's back. It might just be far enough to get out. Loda was not 6, did not have the duel, but crit continues to retreat. Purifying Flames healing him up bit by bit. One more swing, and Loda jams it in with the overwhelming odds. Gets the kill. Well played there. We do see a TP cooling down in 10 seconds. A miracle, though, with the DD rune. So Alliance, they got to be careful about forcing the issue here top.
Yeah, definitely. They do have an extra catapult, too, that Ake picks up, but I don't know if a Miracle wants to make the full commitment to going up there.
So they have adjusted the lanes now. It's No-Tail over to bottom, and they're leaving supports up top.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the rotation?
I mean, it's definitely needed. They already have, Tidehunter already has 6. He doesn't really need to get anything else out of the lane. You definitely want No-Tail to be getting something and not to be at risk of dying.
So No-Tail is going to opt for the Ring of Health here.
They've replaced that, Alliance replaces that same ward on that cliff there.
Don't think it was scouted by the Radiant either. Yeah. But we're yet to see Miracle leave the mid lane, really. And, you know, down a bit as far as CS goes best 4, but he's really stabilized overall. 35 to 41. It's a lot closer than it was when you pointed out the advantage S4 had a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
And that's with the additional pressure the Oracle brought. So, got to say, he's showing just why he gets so much hype.
The one scary thing is that No-Tail is still getting heavily pressured in this bottom lane. Bulldog's just sicking his bear on him constantly, hoping for the roots. Not able to get that efficient farm that he wants.
Bulldog feeling a lot more confident now that the Ravage is down and No-Tail showing himself. Yes, Moon did opt for the Iron Talon in the end. And with the Iron Talon, with the levels maxed out Anchor Smash, he has gone to the jungle. He'll be building towards the mech here along with the Arcane Boots. Fly.
And he's going to get it at a pretty decent timing.
And their 5-man will get a lot scarier with that. And you look at a Bristleback likely going into a Vanguard next. These heroes will get quite tanky. You have some good frontliners for an Ember Spirit and a squishy support in an IO. Speaking of which, Crit, he's feeling a little underleveled right now. Only 4 at the 9-minute mark.
Yeah, the 2 supports on the side of OG are kind of suffering. The Chen is level 5 for Alliance already, and the Oracle is already level 5.
Ake also only 5, a bit of bad luck, but he's had more impact in the lanes with all the smoke ganks, so.
Yeah.
He has secured a slight lead here. Mid lane, they've jumped in on S4. The Remnants come crashing out, and then the boulder kick smashes the Quap into the ground. OG will make the Queen of Pain feel some pain of their own. They grab the kill, 2-4 now. And they are finding openings. That's a pretty big kill as Crit closes in on his level 5. Fly
Gets him the earn charges too.
Ooh. Delicious.
I feel like that's actually the big one because, of course, getting the kill is huge, but getting that the earn charges up on Crit is always super useful because he doesn't opt for the bottle anymore, it seems.
Yeah, that is an interesting adjustment, and we've seen him go much more into the stick early on. That bounty rune into bottle, I guess they just really want Miracle to get the bounty rune early. And in the matchup, I guess he needed it, benefited from a lot, so it has paid off. He'll grab the bounty rune top now. So what are the timings you're looking at here, Giannis, with the way the game's developing? Key items, key abilities or opportunities for rotation? Like, what's each team's, checklist of what they're looking for?
As far as setting up for bottom right now, but I'm like positive that Alliance really wanted to get that top tower, but OG's really committing a bunch of heroes, just not allowing them to do that. I think that the rotation they wanted to do is getting that top tower and then going toward that bottom tower and trying to pressure it with the LD, with the Legion Commander. But they're not able to do so just yet. But now we do see Loda moving toward that mid lane. Ake already actually smoked without him, but it looks like they're going to go toward that bottom lane and just invade anyway. They saw Moon coming in toward top lane, and they're just like, you know what? Moon is the strongest hero on their team right now. Let's just avoid him for the time being.
They are flanking. Miracle in mid. Going in
There
now,
we
they
go.
commit
We
the
got the
duel.
duel.
Can they burst him down in time? They have a Centaur Stomp, they'll let it fly. Miracle dropping low, he gets the Sleight of Fist off and he jumps away. Didn't have the correct amount of chain stun to finish the job.
Yeah, I think Ake really rushed the stun there on the Centaur Stomp. The duel was still going on. I
Did he
think they
get off
actually could have gotten him.
Did he get off the boulder toss?
Yeah, he
I
got
didn't
the
actually
boulder
see.
toss off, but the stun went off when the duel was still going on. It's a really
long disable. Even
Yeah.
at level 1, 4 seconds in. I think it was like 2 seconds in. So.
But at least it baited a bit of a reaction toward the mid lane, and now they were able to claim that bottom tower and get some damage on the tier 2.
So Bulldog, the secret victor there. Midas coming, but with the early phase boots, this will not be a particularly fast Midas. We're now 12 minutes in. And he also got boots for the hero as well. So
Yeah, that's something that you never see Bulldog do.
it delays the Radiance timing, but it did allow him to maybe hold his own more bottom lane as S4
Forces the map.
threatens Moon, but can't finish the job. Not quite enough firepower.
Yeah, that was really nice. Instead of Ake going for bottom tower, because he saw S4 there, he goes for that mid rotation, and it ends up working out perfectly for them.
So
Alliance spots that ward in the mid lane too. They just placed their own, and they saw Crit place another one.
Oh, Alliance, yeah, aggressive here. Going for the D ward. The Chen creeps will do it safely as OG are grouping up. So having vision of this particular location, hugely advantageous right now.
Yeah, No-Tail finished up his Vanguard, and they do seem to be wanting to stack up the Ancients just to get him a little bit more of an influx in farm.
And that was what we saw the Ember Spirit really brought to the table in Game 1 was the opportunity to play for the late game, to not feel any pressure to force the issue, even with the lead, and they would just find pickoffs when they were convenient, not like be pressing too hard to get them.
Yeah, and Alliance spotted that Invis rune, so they're just avoiding that mid tower completely. Same thing, avoid Moon, he's got Ravage up, he's got the mech. There's no point in being there. Just let Bulldog do his own thing bottom, try to delay them a little bit, and just play in the enemy jungle.
Oh, they scout out Ake here. Miracle wants to go. The TPs are coming. Pings are out. And Moon flanks. Will he get there in time? Miracle tracking Ake down. Finds the secured chains. Delayed in level 6 maybe. Goes for the stop.
They gotta leave him.
And they throw a boulder there. But the Remnants forward will end him. And Fly celebrates it after the fact. So now Relocate
okay.
about to come out. And they also have Magnetize. So these slightly under-leveled OG supports are getting their level 6s at long last.
Yeah, that seems fine though. You know, you only lose your Chen, you lose some of the creeps, but not the biggest deal because Bulldog was able to get more damage on that bottom tower. And I think he is not going for the Radiance build. Okay, he's going for the Maelstrom this game.
I think they want to actually set up on S4 here. They have Ravage. Are they considering this?
They might be able to get it here.
Fly scouting him out. He goes for the quick kick, rolling in with the boulder, toss the Ravage. Oh, it actually went right through him. The tentacle just pierced his hero, but apparently wasn't actually in stun range.
Miracle's
Still
dead,
though, Miracle chasing him down with the Flame Guard. Oh,
Oh.
mid-blink, couldn't quite get out.
If that Spirit didn't hit him, I think he actually may have lived there. Top lane, getting pressured.
That was bizarre. It clearly looked like the Ravage should have hit him visually, but
Yeah.
it works out in the end anyways. Loda duels No-Tail, preventing the Bristleback from offering anything, and it is the first duel victory of the game. Alliance make it 5-4, but nothing comes for free for either team.
Yeah, now they're going to build the pressure this top tower. Miracle is there to kind of deter the push a bit, but inevitably I think that top tower is going to go down.
Do they try and hold? It seems they want to. Miracle popping the Flame Guard and now engaging after the Oracle's already tried to purge him. And he'll get that extra damage on Loda, but the Savage Roar comes through. They
Nice
don't have
TP.
another stun. Good control there by Bulldog, allowing Alliance to retreat safely. And look at this. There is no Midas. In fact, Bulldog says, I'm going Maelstrom.
Maelstrom, yeah.
This
Very
is
weird.
a throwback Lone Druid build. I'm actually curious now. When is the last time we've seen a Maelstrom Lone Druid in a... Certainly from Bulldog, it's been ages.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I guess they just want to be able to have the timing sooner. They want to be able to push these towers down early. And they know Ravage is down right now, so this is the time to be able to try to pressure lanes. However, OG does not want to drop towers. They are bringing 4 or 5 heroes everywhere that a tower is being pressured.
They want that bear, but it does manage to get up the Savage Roar, though the kick comes through anyway. They're trying to heal it up with the Oracle. Not going to happen. EGM ends up going down, and now the chase onwards. S4, they
Nice
get
silence.
the silence. Really good control, but he does blink out. Another kick comes through. It connects on 2! Fly! Nails it straight down the middle. That's 2 kills in the end. Almost got a third out of it. S4 will make it home, but OG keep on pressing in, and the good thing for them is that they're doing this without a Ravage. They're not committing big spells.
Guardian Greaves, though, there was really helpful, especially because, of course, you know, when Wisp is tethered with something, you get the double heal. They were able just to punish Alliance being a little bit too aggressive.
S4 is just getting bullied. Every time I see Miracle, he's chasing this poor Queen of Pain. And it seems S4 is not going to be rushing an Orchid. He's actually going a lot more defensive. Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, S4. You can't afford to make that kind of a mistake.
That was, yeah, I guess something happened there, like something with the mouse or something. That
Misclick.
was a very weird blink there for S4.
Well, it's a
Duel
costly
coming
one.
out, top lane, top river.
Duel number 2.
There it is.
Loda also snagging the haste turn, but Miracle just rushes in. He wants to kill off the squishy supports. He knows the duel's on cooldown, but Loda does have the haste to work with, so a lot of damage. As Miracle overextended, has
got
one
one
remnant.
It's so slow.
Miracle's turn. Oh, he just got a little. Oh, is he gonna live? Is he gonna live? Barely survives. Oh, the timing was just right for him. Slightly off for S4, but it works out in the end for the Wonder Kid. EGM though, team. Where's my team? He's not going anywhere. Well, S4 looks to turn this perhaps, has his ultimate. They're slowly working EGM down as the false promise expires. They will kill him off. Now S4, nuking
blinked
Cran,
in, though.
but he
He's-
chains again. He turns desperately with the quad bolt. Again, he pops S4 0-4. That is not the performance they're expecting of his Queen of Pain. And here from the rear comes Fly, goes for the kick
Magnetize.
through, and they get to work. Loaded with the duel, no tail dropping fairly quickly, but Miracle standing strong. The magnetize, a lot of work. Can Bulldog gain on? The chains are there, perched off immediately, and they chase onwards. It's not Alfredo, it's the main Bulldog here doing the work, but it's not enough. Moon shuts them down. 4 heroes back to the well for Alliance, and the 5th is running for dear life.
And Miracle's full healed there. Guardian Greaves plus the Wisp. Relocate coming out. They're looking for Loda. Blink Dagger's on cooldown. Miracle thought he was going left, but doesn't seem like they're going to catch him.
They committed a buyback on the IO there, but oh, well worth it. Oh, Miracle is everywhere.
That's such a cool interaction, too. You saw how when he remnanted top, it just didn't move. It's because the Fortune's End stops movement. So your remnant just doesn't move because you have no movement. That was I really didn't know that that's the way it
Yeah,
worked.
and he just like, you normally at least get a couple
Duel
of units
coming
away,
out on
but
Miracle.
they're trying to keep him alive. Crit with the tether in. Loda looking for duel number 3. It's not going to happen. This time it's another kill for OG as Miracle continues chasing forward. They banned this hero second phase, so OG took it earlier in this game, and you can see why. The Miracle Show is live here in Kiev, and Alliance seem to have no answers for him at this point. EGM in the trees. Can he TP out? That's not going to happen. Another 4 heroes. Self-destruction sequence activated. Alliance are losing it.
OG they're doing such a good job at responding to these pushes. They don't care if the Ravage wasn't up like you were saying before. They just don't want to lose those tier 1s, which I think is extremely important to them. If they lose that map control versus the Chen, it can be devastating. And you're seeing Ake is getting punished so heavily because of this, because he's not able to get the towers. He still doesn't have his mech.
Well, we need to take a breath, but more importantly,
Woo.
I think Alliance do, Fogged.
Yeah.
How do they calm down, reset, try to look at the state of the game? There's been some individual miscues, some team decision-making that obviously hasn't worked. What should they be doing? What's the way back into the game?
They need to chill out, honestly. They keep getting outnumbered in these team fights. They don't have everybody there. They don't have the creep army built up or anything. They need to watch out, because every time they're taking these engagements, it just feels like they're getting outnumbered.
So is it about not fighting, just being more selective as to when you fight?
Definitely being more selective as to when you fight, but at this point now, it's very scary, because ideally with Chen, you want to have another tier 1 tower, but now Fly gets dueled up.
Oh, it is another duel win for Loda, stacking them up. But Moon is about to get a Ravage, and the Guardian Graves keep him in fighting shape a bit longer. Now the relocate comes in, the punish again from OG. Looking for Loda too. They're going to try to run him down with the Bristleback. The IO they will. A double kill for Crit. Miracle hunting for the third, but S4 able to retreat.
Again, just getting outnumbered. You know, they get the nice kill on the Earth Spirit, but at the same time, they just bring in another, like, 2 heroes. They have 1 hero already there behind the Earth Spirit, and then they just relocate in 2 more.
And they're hunting for a third kill once again. Ake could get caught out here. The Queen of Painol comes from behind and it just disintegrates IO. And will bring down Crit, but it comes at the cost of S4. It's going to be 4 heroes from the looks of things. Sleight of Fist makes it so.
Godlike miracle.
Another quad hero takedown. OG, I think their 3rd or 4th of the game. It has been a bloodbath and mostly favoring them. And now Miracle has completed a Battle Fury, but he's doing it by farming heroes. Now 9-0-9 with a 7-3-10 Wisp for Crit. 2 relative youngsters here on the top tier 1 Dota, and they are showing just how much they can get done. But you can feel No Tail maybe overextending his own right. Loda collects victory number 233.
Typical Moon.
And they're moving in. Moon overextending as well. Healed up for a bit, but he'll burst. So Alliance stabilized. They get 3. Yep. They also ended a decent streak from the IO, I believe. But I just see OG moving forward. They just want to go right back in.
Yeah, I'm really, I can't say it enough. I'm really impressed how much they just needed to defend those tier 1s, and they did it perfectly.
S4 gets caught. The chains are there again. The physical damage is almost enough to kill S4 instantly. He could have gone for the Remnant into Slight, but he wants to play it safe. Miracle, oh, another Slight. Gets troll trapped, kept away. Meanwhile, at the Roshan pit, there's also action breaking out. And Fly has a Magnetize ready with heroes fairly low. Miracle trying to corral heroes on their own, and it's Ake who he catches. A quick chains into a boulder smash. All they need is 1 more roll, and this one's on point. Fly might have gotten laughed at by his team, but he's getting the job done here on the big stage as EGM is in the pit, goes for the TP out. Miracle, chains going down. Will Roshan bash? Oh, not quite. But this does mean Chen out of the picture, Oracle back to the well with OG marching in the pit, and they have an item that has been mostly forgotten. It's a medallion, and in this case, could be big. Look at Alliance, though, as they sweep around, trying to set up. They have a level 2 Queen of Pain ult. Can they maybe steal the Roshan?
S4 went for
Can they
Yules.
find a way into this pit? It seems no. They'll forfeit it, and Miracle, who's already been almost impossible to kill, in fact, so far hasn't died, gets even harder to kill.
Huge wins coming out there for OG.
This is such an intense back and forth game, but it is starting to pull away for OG now. With the Roshan kill, about a 7,500 gold lead, closing in on and possibly even peaking over a 10,000 experience lead. And the way Alliance have itemized as well, it's not as much for the late game. It's a Blade Mail Blink Dagger Legion Commander. There's no Radiance inside the Bear, and here we go. The kills that they need. Loda blinking forward, 62 dual victory damage, but might get punished. The Ravage connects on 2. They want S4. Yule Scepter's there. Gonna need 1 auto attack. Sleight of Fist, chains, Miracle again. Shutting down S4, 1-7 to the 9-0-11 of Miracle. We can clearly see who's had the upper hand in that particular matchup, and Loda will be next. 2 cores down for a support Earth Spirit. Fly is going to take that trade all the way to the bank.
He even finishes up the Mjolnir in this instance on Bulldog.
It limits their comeback options pretty severely for Alliance. Means they need to be taking some fight victories. Haven't seen too many, as Moon will get caught out by the Oracle. Throwing in the Fortune's End.
They're going to kill the bear.
But they might kill the bear. With the medallion, it's a lot easier to bring down.
He's avoiding the Savage Roar. Nice play there by No-Tail.
And that's 300 gold and experience going OG's way. A tier 1 as well. Maybe a tier 2, but they do not have the Ravage for now.
I really don't feel like this 1 in 5 on No-Tail is attributing to what he's been doing this game. He's actually had a lot of commitment and a lot of just plays coming out for him. Just leveling up the goo early on, getting the kill on Lone Druid, as well as his rotations all over the place. He's just that meaty frontliner that ends up dying, but he's doing a lot of work.
An extra death early, they lose that tier 1 sooner. Or even if he just doesn't have as good a time in the lane, and then suddenly Alliance is snowballing a little bit more. Maybe Bulldog doesn't feel like he has to get so much done in the lane, goes for a different build. It's definitely a case where the butterfly effect should be considered.
Yeah.
But OG take the tier 2 now. Closing in down the stretch. Miracle. Gonna have a Linken's before this Aegis expires, almost certainly. And then how do you kill him? The Blink duel has been the tool for Alliance to lock him down.
But even then, they haven't killed him.
Right. They got really close top, but imagine him with the Linken's.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
This is looking quite grim right now for Alliance, but they're just going to still try to keep in it. S4's just got to keep the split push on, keep the lanes out of their side of the map.
So with the advantage OG has acquired here, is there a point soon where they need to or want to think about breaking the base, or should they be taking that slower approach?
I think they can take as slow as an approach as they want in this game. They have an ancient stack that they can do whenever they want. They have multiple different areas that they can farm all over the place, and Alliance is going to have no way to kill Miracle now that he has that Linken's finished up. They can take their time. They have the late game.
I mean, look at this. He's solo pushing mid to the enemy base. Nobody even in the neighborhood. He's aggressively diving EGM. Sure, he's got Aegis Linken's, but it's not just the items he has. It's the way he's able to use them so offensively.
Yeah, I really don't think that OG is in any rush at this point.
They move off as a pack of 4 into their own woods, but it doesn't seem smoke gank's in order. Just a farm gank. We'll kill those neutral creeps. Get them.
They have to. They have to farm together.
Yeah, you go off on your own, you're getting relocate ganked.
You're just going to get outnumbered.
Ember might solo kill anyone, aside from Lone Druid maybe. So they're playing it safe. But it is resulting in an ever-growing chasm of farm advantage here. OG slowly excavating. And Alliance continue to find themselves just a little bit more in the hole, bit by bit.
Looks like they want to threaten a bit toward the top lane.
Moon Blake's in, and he was thinking about a Ravage on S4. But Fly was not quite in range.
Fly's getting into position now, though.
They can go for this, land. Waiting for the boulder smash to see if it connects. It won't. And meanwhile, bottom, Miracle's come for the rear flank. Drops a Remnant, still holds the Aegis. They will commit the duel here. They broke in the Linken's, but reinforcements have arrived. They get shredded quickly, but the damage of No-Tail, and Alliance find themselves on the run. Round 2 comes through. How do they kill an Ember a second time? He jumps forward, and it's right where Ake is retreating, so he's going to look to finish him off. Bulldog getting controlled, kited, and smacked down by an angry Armadillo as OG extend their lead by another 2 kills. Remnant hunting for a third, but the Chen is out. Ake bails on the team and retreats home. Everything going OG's way, but this may be a small victory for Alliance. Even this, no! Nothing for free. Giannis, nothing
gets the
for
kill,
free.
gets the experience. At least S4 gets that big bounty there at the end.
1,500 experience going the way, not of the Quap, but of the IO. That is your Solar Crest Earn IO, level 13. Only 2K net worth down on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, now it's at this point is when OG really feels comfortable to go toward that high ground and just solidify the victory in this game.
And they know the Queen of Pain ult's on cooldown, so with Ravage up, Moon never actually dropping it, some new Blink Daggers for the squad. They may try to force something here.
Yeah, this looks like the timing. They have the Blink Dagger on Miracle, Blink Dagger on Moon, and No-Tail just finished up the Vlads, so they have Crimson Guard and Vlads able to, so if they can break the high ground a bit easier.
And Miracle using the Blink to initiate, has the Remnant back out, and he'll use it. Dodging the Savage Roar there, and now he wants to come back in, and he actually has an Arcane Rune. Very nice Sleight of Fist. Seems good for him, and Indeed it is.
All
Blinking
day.
forward, jumping out. He'll be here. He ain't going anywhere.
He's got chill for a bit, out of remnants.
Yeah, they don't recharge any faster. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't believe so either.
But the sleight of fist spam will do just fine. As you can see, every little chunk bringing S4 lower and lower, clearing out the creep waves, chipping at the tower. Queen of Pain ult, still 40 seconds.
Loda does have a BKB now, but let's see what's coming out on the courier. It's an Aghanims for the Tidehunter.
Every 4 seconds, Alliance getting chunked. And
Yeah.
at any moment, there could be a Blink Ravage. You really have to be mindful.
Yeah, OG's they're just keeping them in their base. They see the side lanes are pushed in. There's no way that Alliance can get out there, and this is the moment where they're just gonna go for the high ground push.
Oh, and now Moon has completed an Aghanims.
Yep.
So you've got your long range AoE Gush. More spam to go with the Ember. It's a pretty cool combo if you think about it. Just lower everyone's armor and then go in for the Sleight of Fist. The siege continues in earnest. BKB
coming out.
now committed. Loda going hard on No Tail, but Miracle says, great, you're going to ignore me. And then there's a relocate. Save brings it back to safety. Ravage is still available.
They
Alliance
expended the Quapple, they expended the Duel. Those are their only
everything.
real team fight ultimates that they have.
And OG basically used nothing aside from relocate. And now they're going to look for the jump. Moon is ready to swag on some heroes. Get ready for the Blink Ravage. Get ready for the belly flops. He's holding it patiently. All right. Maybe Moon's learned his lesson. He's waited until game 3.
He's just being patient.
I mean, we saw him do it a bit prematurely in some series in the past, but this time he's holding it, like you said. There you go. On to 3. Alliance, no chance. Eviscerated. Slaughtered. Completely destroyed. They have still not killed Miracle. 12, 0, and 16.
Even Crit is having an incredible game. 10, 4, and 16, and there it is. GG. Wow. I really have to attribute